I don't see what difference that makes. I understand what he said, little one, but I don't care. A few days after all of us meet up, and suddenly the werewolf is kidnapped, and you think that doesn't have something to do with me. A few days after we start hatching a plan to go after a hunter and keep me safe, and he gets kidnapped. No, I can't just assume that I had nothing to do with it. Little one, I I respect your point of view. I promise you that I do. But I cannot let this man twist for what might be my fault. At the end of the day, the old stereotypes of vampires and werewolves, they don't mean a damn thing to me. This man was willing to stick his neck on the line for me. I cannot simply abandon that. Quite simply, I have to be willing to defend him. And, in this case, I have to be willing to go find him. Well, Connor did say something to the effect of another werewolf kidnapping him. However, there's always the real possibility that the hunter is working through an intermediary. This Damien never really sounded like the sharpest tool in the shed. It could be that he's getting paid or finding an excuse to go after Caleb through all of the chaos that we now live in. I can't be sure of anything. What I am sure of, he was attacked. It could have been because of me. I have to make that right. Because, little one, I am tired of people suffering because of me. They have always suffered because of me. They continue to suffer for my actions. And I'm so very tired of it. Countless centuries spent trying to reinvent myself. And still, I come to this. Little one, I spent much of the beginning of my own life as someone you would not wish to come in contact with. I was a monster in my own right. And yet, the universe seems to have given me a second chance. I will constantly try to be better. I will constantly try and rise above my petty desires. But every time I try and become more, it just seems like I constantly get shoved back into a corner. I'm still the monster I once was. I still inflict that pain, suffering, and anguish on everyone around me. Maybe I should just stop trying. You don't understand. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to throw a pity party, as you called it. Would you listen to me for one? Fine, fine. Maybe you're right. Maybe this has nothing to do with me. Maybe a lot of things have nothing to do with me. I wish I could be so vain and narcissistic as to think that the universe revolves around me. I understand differently. However, I cannot ignore the fact that this man is now in jeopardy, and it lines up too well with what's going on. You have not been around for the last 100, 300 years. Because if you were, you would have run screaming by now. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, little one. At the end of the day, I'm a realist. I don't have the immortal optimism of Connor, and I can't help but think that if I didn't come into these people's lives, they wouldn't be in jeopardy. Yes, I know I only just met Caleb, and I understand that doesn't mean that he and I are inexorably bound now, but you're right. Above all else, you're right. I'm not to blame for all the misfortunes in the world. I understand. I just. I don't like understanding. Does that make sense? Yes. Well, it still doesn't mean that I'm not going to do my best to keep him safe, okay? Because that's part of being a better person, defending those who are trying to help you. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person. Sometimes you have to accept that you're not perfect, but you're not that much of a bastard. And I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. I know, I know. Listen, thank you. It's not often that people stand up to me. It's a bit of a rarity these days. Well, when you're a massively old vampire, people tend to treat you with an air of respect, but also an air of detachment. You're not wrong, you're not wrong. I'm just not used to people standing up to me, I guess. True enough. Perhaps it's time to move on from my petty worries and do some good. Is that what you said? Do some good? Well, little one, Sometimes I'm glad I met you. Oh, what the hell am I saying? I'm always glad I met you. I need someone to keep me on the straight and narrow. Are you not trying to keep me on the straight and narrow, little one? Fair enough. All right. We need to start looking. Wherever this Damien has taken Caleb, we'll be the ones to find him. Hmm. Unfortunately, I only have Connor's contact information. However, I know where Caleb frequented quite a bit for his coffee. Perhaps that's a place to start. Oh, Trevelyan is a very old friend. He'll tell me whatever I need. If Trevelyan doesn't know, I'm sure he knows someone who does. The two of us have contacts all over this city. Well then, little one. Can I ask you a favor? Well, unfortunately, I can't drive right now, being that it's the middle of the day. A little hard to drive fully covered. Would you mind, chauffeuring me? Oh, I promise. I won't make you wear a silly outfit. But I will buy you a cup of coffee if that's what you'd like. Well then, I'm in your capable hands, little one. Let's get a move on.